the first week of July, and it's an exciting day in the Robbins household. Not because it's any holiday. In fact, it was a work day for me. I just finished my work day, but this box was sitting there on the doorstep when I finished my work day. It doesn't have the normal Tackle Warehouse badging, but I knew that it was a Tackle Warehouse box because I've been tracking it religiously since it left the factory. And it's exciting. I only make probably 4 to 7 orders a year. And I don't know why it's exciting, because I know exactly what's in the box every time. I'm the one who made the order. I paid effectively retail for everything. Yet when the box shows up, you kind of like to fondle everything and go through it and see what you bought. I'm pretty purposeful about what I buy these days. One of the reasons I made this order was because we just came back from El Salto at the beginning of June. Tackle Warehouse had a July 4th sale. Many of the things that I needed for our next year's trip to El Salto went on sale. Not all of them. They had 15% off of a selected set. But a lot of the things were there, and I figured I would restock while I could. I took a pretty heavy-duty inventory before I left, and we really went through a lot of crankbaits this year. I have plenty of DT20s. I have plenty of fat-free shads, plenty of the 6th Sense baits that I use. But I got kind of low on the Strike King baits that I use in particular, as well as the Berkleys. And I was kind of surprised when I took the inventory. I had 9 or 10 10XDs down there and only a couple of 6XDs. So I thought I was going to order a bunch of 10s, and I ended up ordering many more 6s. I want to go through this box, show you what I got, and that will explain a little bit about my thought process and how I restock for next June's trip. The first crankbaits that I got aren't deep divers at all. I really realized on this trip that I don't throw a square bill enough down there. I throw a chatterbait and a spinnerbait and a jerkbait when the fish are shallow and want a moving bait. But I really need to get into the square bill game a little bit more. I've seen my friends have some really good catches, and I've caught some good fish. I realized that I only had 1.5 size square bills down there. It was time to get some bigger ones. So I ordered 2, reasonably priced. One is the KVD 2.5 in Chartreuse with a black back. That's a good all-around stained and dirty watercolor. Proven winner. KVD, the man himself, uses it. The other one I got is a Lucky Craft 2.5 in a Gizzard shad color. I figured I would use this in clearer water situations. Great looking paint job on this one. The Lucky Crafts, they've really come down on their prices. They used to be $15 a piece. Now you can get these regularly priced for $7 or $8 a piece, and on sale it's even less. Now let's dive into the Berkley dredgers. Berkley has really upped their hard bait game in recent years. You know, previous generations of the company, they had some trouble. They had some real clunkers. But this group, whoever's behind it, between the Fritz side and the Chapo and the Stunna, and in particular, for my needs, the Dredger, has really done a great job. I forget about the Dredger at times. I gravitate towards that fat-free shad 6XD, 10XD. But the Dredger gets down very quick. It has a small body. Sometimes when they want something a little more subtle, that's the call. So I got a whole bunch of them. I got 4 of the 20.5s and 4 of the 25.5s. You can see a pretty standard shad color. Chartreuse with blackback. Chartreuse with blueback. A smaller chartreuse with blackback. Each size in this color, which they call big money. And it's truly a sexy shad type color, a little more blue than some other sexy shads. And then a citrus shad, which is the El Salto Classic. 8 baits. If I lose a couple on the next trip, not a big deal. I think I'll be well stocked for a while. As I said earlier, I was surprised at how few 6XDs I had left after this trip. I thought I had quite a few of them. I tend to gravitate towards the 10, but on this trip, they were eating the 6 in the same areas just as well. It's a lot less work to throw it. Quality of the fish was the same. Our friend Paul Fizzler, he caught a 10.5 pounder on a Chartreuse blueback 6XD, so I figured I better restock. So I got a bunch of them. 2 in citrus shad, of course. Actually, make that 3 in citrus shad. The trusty Chartreuse with a powder blue back. 2 in this Chartreuse Perch color that I really like down there. I have more confidence in this, to be quite honest, than Chartreuse in blueback or blackback. And 1 for when the fish get a little more finicky or the water's clearer, in a natural shad color. I also got some 8XDs. I don't throw that nearly as much as the 6 or the 10, But there was a trip back, I want to say 2015 or 2016, where my friend Terry Conroy absolutely kicked my butt with a color called Clearwater Shad. I could throw very similar 8XDs. I could throw 6 and 10s in similar colors and not get bit. He was out fishing me 3-to-1, and we actually switched baits, and the ratio remained the same, just flipped. So that Clearwater Shad color, which looks like this, I don't know if they're discontinuing it, but they had this one on super markdown. So I got 4 of them while I could. I figured maybe I should have ordered more for the long term. Maybe they won't discontinue it, but the price was really good. Even though I have some down there, I figured I would get some more. And finally, on the crankbait front, the 10XD, which is my favorite. It's the bait that produced my personal best largemouth at El Salto. My personal best elsewhere was caught on a spinnerbait, but the biggest fish I've ever caught in 20 trips to El Salto was caught on a Barfish colored 10XD. But I didn't need that many. So I did get another Barfish one because that is my favorite color. As noted before when I was talking about some of the other baits, I really like that Chartreuse Perch color, so I got another 10 in that. And I figured I had to try a new color too, so I got this one. It's called Oyster. It's kind of muted, but it has some of the elements of some of the other colors that I really like. I figured maybe it's something they haven't seen. Maybe it's a sleeper color. I haven't heard anyone talk about it. That doesn't mean it's not real good. And finally, we didn't throw a wacky rig a whole bunch on this trip. I'm sure we will in upcoming trips, but I do throw a wacky rig around here a lot, particularly on the Potomac. It's probably my number one bait. It's probably my number one bait everywhere I go these days. And I've long used the Gamakatsu split shot drop shot hook, usually in a 1/0 or a 2/0, and the Aaron Martin's version of the same. I had a day where I really struggled recently, and I've been messing around with some of the other JDM hooks, so I decided to invest in a few packs of those, and over the course of the rest of the year, I'll see if any of them are consistently better than what I've been using. So I got this one from Ryugi. This one from Decoy. A different size from Ryugi. And one that I've really liked in the past from Hayabusa. Again, I don't want to lose a fish because there's a lot of plastic pushing through, or because I get hung up on something, or because it doesn't have enough bite, or it bends out. I feel like it's really important to dial this bite in because it's something that even a relative amateur like myself can use and look like a hero. And if you really want to look like a hero, make sure you order $150 of gear every time you go to Tackle Warehouse. Obviously, you should never order less than $50 because that's what gets you to free shipping. Anyone who orders $48 worth of tackle and pays for the shipping, in my mind, is an absolute idiot, but we won't go there today. But if you really want to look like a hero, if you go over $150, you get the free t-shirt. I have a ton of them. I really don't need more t-shirts in my life at this point, but I hand them out as gifts to the staff and the guides, in addition to their tips, not in lieu of their tips, but it's something nice to have for some other people, hand out something. Tackle Warehouse does the best branding in the game. Be sure, if you're going to buy something from them, go through the link on our website. It provides a little bit of extra money for the site. We use it for swag, better swag, for our clients and for our guests on upcoming trips. If you want more hints on Tackle Warehouse, go to our article on better shopping at Tackle Warehouse. And please, if you have any questions, email us at fishmore@halfpastfirstcast.com. And of course, if you'd like to book a trip, we're always happy to talk Mexico with you. Don't need any of this gear for Guatemala or Panama or Alaska, but we'll help you get outfitted for those trips too. We want to see you on the water. We want to see tooth marks in all of these baits. This is a sign that I have too much fishing tackle. I thought my order was done, but I knew it seemed a little light on those 8XDs. Another box arrived the next day. 8XD and Chartreuse Perch. 8XD in a new color. Pineapple Smash. Now I believe the order is truly complete.